All right, we are going to reconvene this May 9th, 2017 regularly scheduled board meeting for the Richland 2 Board of Trustees, where we just returned from executive session to discuss the items that were mentioned in the motion to go into executive session. At this time, we will have the inspirational moment. Dr. Elkins Johnson.
Yes, good evening, everyone. The inspirational moment will be given by Mr. Casper Glenn. Mr. Glenn is one of our Richland to Northeast Transportation bus drivers. He has been a bus driver since 1960 from high school. Can you imagine that, the wisdom and the knowledge that he has to bring with us? Let's welcome Mr. Casper Glenn.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Casper Glenn, and I work with the Transportation Division led by Mr. Wayne Norton and the Northeast Hub with Supervisor Mr. Mark Anderson. I'm a retired veteran. I spent 20 years in the National Guard. Also spent 30 years as a district driver for the United Parcel Division. When I came to Richland 2 in 2002, I began as a bus driver and continue to drive now in addition to dispatch and other transportation responsibilities. As you're all aware, the main responsibility of a bus driver is to transport students safely from home to school and back home. However, drivers also interact with students in many ways. It is always a pleasure to provide them with encouragement, new opportunities to learn something, and to assist them in the life skills. After all, bus drivers are also teachers as well.
Absolutely.
Here's an interesting account of what one bus driver did. Where a dedicated bus driver, school bus driver, decided to take kids on a road trip. Outside their usual route, she quickly found that the new view gave them new perspective, and that she could change their lives forever. Tanya Walker, a school bus driver from Los Angeles Unified School District for 22 years, saw a distinguished difference in her students when she took them on their first road trip in over spring break. As they left their inner city Los Angeles neighborhood, she took them only 25 miles to a marina, learned about marine life. And she watched their eyes widen and their spirits. They was exposed to the different people, a different place, a different background. And all they did was go from one neighborhood to another, say Walker. Through her godparents, youth organization, which Walter 44 founded in 2002, she started taking students to and talking to students about their grades. Got to know them and formed a connection that had lasted for years. I asked them to right now where they want to go in life if money was an issue, and they all picked up typical places like Las Vegas, amusement park, say Walter. So once a year, since 2006, she's been taking high school students on a 30-day bus trip around the country. This is in 28 states along 26 colleges and universities. In total, she has taken about 200 students on the road. I remember as a young man, a gentleman in our community who had a bus. And he would travel the whole country, he would travel the whole county, picking up people, taking them to and from there. It was something that people looked forward to, myself included. I remember him taking us to Brook Green Garden in Maryland on that bus. First time I ever saw a buffalo. And through him, we had an opportunity to see some things that we might not have had the chance to see at such early age. All bus drivers might not be able to provide students an opportunity like this. But as the first school personnel, many students see each day, we can help them to get their day off to a great start and by our kind greeting wishes, and our belief in their ability to do great things. I believe that our role is not just driving and transporting, but our opportunities are granted every day to make a difference in the lives of the children. I would like to leave this with you. We currently have 123 drivers in Richland District 2. We run 144 buses every day. That's 864 wheels on the road. Our driver run approximately 674 routes daily. With those 864 wheels, not including midday programs. This school year, our buses have transported students 4,106 field trips and counting.
Wow.
Approximately 19,000 students ride our bus every day. And the final statistic I'll leave with you is that we are one transportation team dedicated to those 19,000 students every day. No one's child left behind. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
Glenn. And if you, and if you would stand for the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much. That's incredible service to the district and our students to have served in this great school district and to be part of making, really bringing us to where we are today and touching as many lives as he has touched. We're blessed to have him with us tonight as part of our program. So thank you, Dr. Elkins Johnson, for that. That was truly impressive. And I thought it was great that our bus drivers are also teachers. That's very poignant. So thank you so much for those comments. And I think that's a great segue into our session today. We will now have the agenda. If I can have a motion.
Mr. Chair.
Yes, sir. So moved by Ms. Agostini, second by Mr. Plank. Is there any discussion? If there's no discussion, we'll have the vote at this time. And I'm not sure if mine's working right. I'm not getting anything popping up. Oh, it did, okay. I just hit refresh again. Join the meeting again. Oh, there it is. Okay. All right, motion passes 7-0. I do want to take just a point of privilege to recognize a few folks tonight. We have Boy Scouts here tonight from Troop 900. Is that correct? In the back of the room. All right, there. If y'all can recognize them in the back of the room, they're here for their community service and citizenship belts. Young man, we appreciate your service in that organization, and by being part of that, I think that will help you be very successful in the future. As I can tell from looking at each one of you, you're gonna do well. So thank y'all for being with us. Also, maybe not directly, but I do want to recognize the First Lady of one of our council members, Ms. Jackson, for being here tonight. Thank you. As we all know, Chip still does hold a special place in our heart on county council, and so thank you for being. I know that's not why you're here, but we appreciate you being here anyway, so thank you very much. So next we will move on to our special recognitions. Dr. Ham.
Libby Ruth will be making those introductions this evening.
Thank you, Dr. Ham, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, and welcome to our special guests. We have staff members, students, and of course, we have parents coming to see them be recognized, and we welcome our community members as well. It's a busy time of year, and so we really appreciate you all coming out. And of course, this is my favorite time of year. I get very excited to do this. So we'll get started. I hope that our principals who will be coming up with our award winners have on comfortable shoes, because you're going to have to come up a lot, and you need to vary your route so that you don't wear out the carpet, because this is new carpet. Jack Carter doesn't want you to do that. But first, we're going to start with Lainey Patterson, who is from Spring Valley High School. So if Lainey will come forward along with her principal, Mr. Jeff Timoni. Lainey has been recognized nationally as a technology leader. She is among 18 young women selected as an Aspirations in Computing South Carolina Award recipient, and the only one in the group named a National Aspirations in Computing Award recipient. The awards are part of a national effort to encourage more young women to choose careers in technology. It honors women who are active and interested in computing and technology and encourages them to pursue their passions. Lainey is being recognized for her outstanding aptitude and interest in technology and computing, leadership ability, academic history, and plans for post-secondary education. She was recognized at a reception earlier this year hosted by ITology, Winthrop University, and Columbia College. Congratulations on this national recognition. Mr. Timoni, you can turn around. And we'll go from technology to sports. Will Jordan Stifler please come forward, along with his wrestling coach, Cody Garnett, and athletic director, Tim Hunter, if they are here. Jordan was selected to participate in the 2017 Best Western North-South All-Star Wrestling Classic. Hopefully before the arm injury? Yeah? No? Oh. Whoops. The event was held in early March at North Myrtle Beach High School. He did a great job representing the South team, going 2-0, and recorded the fastest pin of the Classic. Jordan ended his senior year with a 44-4 record and has completed his high school wrestling career, recording 134 wins, and is a 3-time state qualifier. By the way, the last Spring Valley wrestler selected for North-South All-Stars was his brother, Kyle, in 2013. Congratulations, Jordan. I'm good with you for a while. Yeah. I'll bring up Dr. Sabrina Suber if she is here to take Jeff's place. And you can just stay up here for a while. Because we are going to recognize your exceptional journalism students from the CAVPLEX Convergence Media Program, which is a great program, and they have a huge contingency here tonight. They've won many, many first place honors from the South Carolina Scholastic Press Association fall and spring conferences. And we're going to begin with the students from the Cavalier newspaper, so we'll ask Advisor Nina Brooke to join Dr. Suber up front. Now, if you have ever seen the Cavalier newspaper, you will understand why they win these awards. It is well written and beautifully laid out with amazing photography. The opinion pieces are thought-provoking and the ideas are creative, and the Press Association agrees. The newspaper won the Sweepstakes Award, which is first place and given to the paper with the most total points from the individual competition. The winners who won first place include, and come up when I call your name, Kate Baker, who won 2 first place awards. Hey, Kate. Her awards were for center spread and front page. And Casey Collins also won for center spread and sports. Ella Rail won first place for photography. And Lena Sala won 2 first-place awards for art and features. And congratulations to our newspaper students, and Megan's going to grab their picture real quick.
That's right, for the Northeast News, here you go right here. These are your next hirees right here.
All right, here we go. Ready? 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3.
Congratulations. Next, we'll call up first place award winners from Richland Northeast Psyche Literary Magazine. Ms. Brooke, you also work with this as well. The magazine was created at Richland Northeast 3 years ago when many former Dent middle school students who had worked on a literary magazine wanted one at Richland Northeast. In that time, it has become one of the most recognized in the state, offering a place for artists and writers to express themselves in print. Tonight, we honor 2 students for their first place awards. Gracie Boyce won first place for short story. Ellie Pobus could not be here, but we want to certainly recognize her for winning for spread design. All right, Ms. Burke, you can sit down, but Dr. Stuber, you stay up there, and we're going to ask Advisor A.J. Chambers to come up front. We're moving on to our television work. We have several winners from RNE TV, and Mr. Chambers is the advisor for that. As you know, many of you know, Richland Northeast has been a leader in broadcast journalism for many years, so we're not surprised about these wins at all either. Henry Holbeck won first place for graphics. Is Henry here? Kayla Jeffers won first place for public service announcement. And Malcolm Tyson won for sports story. And I'm probably going to embarrass Malcolm just a little bit, but Malcolm works with the guys in our R2TV with Tony Kenyon over there, and he is so eager to work and learn. He's a senior. He's graduating this year, and he asked could he still work the graduations with us. And we told him we wanted him to enjoy his day. We might let him work the other day, but he really needed to take the full day off when he graduated. It is not unexpected that the RNE TV won overall for Best Broadcast, which is first place award. It is a first place award and most improved, and we give those certificates to Mr. Chambers. Do you have those? Yeah. All right, Mr. Chambers, you can stay up there again because we're moving on to Sabre Online News, which has, again, produced many first-place winners. I sound like a broken record tonight. Javian Brown, who couldn't be here, won for computer graphics. Jamie Collins won for digital storytelling. I think that one of the best parts of doing this is when I turn around and look at the students and the big smiles they have on their face. It just makes me so happy. Elena Horton came in first place for opinion and digital storytelling. Hannah Schimmel won for digital storytelling. Hannah here. And Malcolm won for videography. Not surprising. And we're going to bring up one more award winner with this group. Megan, you want to just hold tight? We'll bring up one. We have one more winner from Convergence Media. Will Ranitra Wilson please come forward? Not surprisingly, R&E now has the student president of the South Carolina Scholastic Press Association, and we know that she will represent her school and her district very well. We are very proud of her. It is now time for the alphabet soup portion of the evening, where we get to hear about our winners from the FBLA, HOSA, and DECA competitions. And we always have first place winners, and we're very proud of them. First up is DECA, which was previously known as the Distributive Education Clubs of America. Glad they shortened that for me, which prepares leaders and entrepreneurs for careers in business. The Ridgeview chapter had success at the statewide level, so we will call up Advisor Pat Jackson and Principal Dr. Brenda Mack Foxworth. Their two first place winners, Devin Holder. Devin won first place in the Virtual Business Personal Finance Challenge. This online contest put him in competition with other students around the world. He was awarded the first place award at the annual South Carolina DECA Career Development Conference in Charleston, and he also received the 2017 DECA Emerging Leader Honor Award from the National DECA event. Kaylin Cooper won. Clap for Devin. Very good. Kaylin Cooper won first place for the Principles of Business Management and Administration at the state competition. In addition, Advisor Pat Jackson received an award for her 20 years of service as a DECA advisor, and once again was appointed to serve another term on the South Carolina DECA Board of Directors. She is truly a committed servant and educator to the organization, and we thank you for your commitment to our students. Devin, Kaylin, and Ms. Jackson had the opportunity to travel to the National DECA Conference 2 weeks ago in California to represent our district and Ridgeview High School. Congratulations. Dr. Mack, you can stay put because we are going to recognize your HOSA award winners now. HOSA stands for Health Occupation Students of America and is a student-led organization of future health professionals. These students are our future nurses, doctors, and physical therapists. At Ridgeview, Diane Melton serves as advisor, and we ask her to come up front, please. Our Ridgeview students who won first place include Savannah Tayodo, who could not join us tonight, but she won for prepared speaking and was also recognized as an outstanding HOSA member. John Van Kalen won for physical therapy. Joy, I'm sorry, it says joy. It totally says joy right here. Diana Chapman, Jake Toyota, and Faith Thompson won for creative problem solving. And these are our HOSA first place winners from Ridgeview. Let's give them all another round of applause. And I believe you will all be moving on and competing in Orlando next month. And so congratulations. We appreciate you going on to represent us there. And we hope you bring back some more victories. Now it's time to bring Mr. Timoni back up front for Spring Valley HOSA, and with his HOSA advisors, Mary Morgan and Lori McDuffie. And first place winners from HOSA, first place winners from Spring Valley include, I'm gonna I'm going to get this. Soraya Parasay. Is that right? Is that right? And she won first place for home health aid. And Sarija Varanasi, thank you. I think I'm just going to start handing y'all the microphone. She was the state winner in biomedical lab science. And Lori McDuffie was named HOSA Advisor of the Year. And they will be joining, hold tight, we gotta get your picture. Sorry, I know. And they will be joining their fellow HOSA members from Ridgeview down in Orlando next month for the national competition. So good luck and congratulations again. Our last group of professional organizations is FBLA, which of course is our Future Business Leaders of America. FBLA is comprised of more than 3,000 students around the state preparing for careers in business. Tonight we have first place winners from Blythewood and Westwood High. For Blythewood, we call up Principal Brenda Hafner and Advisor Ashley Garner could not be with us. So Dr. Hafner will do double duty. We have Darielle Campbell and Kiana Livingston, who won first place for the website design. We're not sure. Tillman Dillon won coding and programming. Jasmine Reeves, I believe, could not be with us, won for personal finance. I think I always say this every year, if whoever wins personal finance, but I really need them to come see me. There will be 7 students who advanced to nationals, and they're going to Anaheim, California. I'll be glad to go along on June 28th through July 3rd, and we wish them lots of success. Congratulations. For Westwood, we're going to ask Principal Dr. Cheryl Guy and Advisor Tracy Wilbur to come up front. They had 8 students compete at the state level, and all of them have now qualified to move on to compete at the nationals. Our first place, among those are first place winners, Aubrey Rubadou, who won for computer applications. Aubrey here. And Elizabeth Ribberty and Ryan Stout for Management Information Systems. As a whole, the Westwood chapter brought home several awards, and we'll give Ms. Wilbur the certificate for this. They were first place for the local chapter annual business report. They won the Gold Seal of Award of Merit for the 4th straight year, and they were in the highest fundraising chapter for the March of Dimes. Congratulations and good luck in Anaheim. Our final recognition tonight is for 2 schools who got special recognition from Advanced Ed. And so we're going to ask Dr. Guy, Dr. Guy, I should have caught you, to come up front, and Dr. Cappy Steck, who brought the whole army with her. Come on, just come on in. Dr. Guy had a lot going on at Westwood tonight. So some of you Forest Lake people go stand on Dr. Guy's side so she doesn't feel lonely. Because she would have brought her whole staff if they weren't all busy tonight. During our Advanced Ed visit, Forest Lake and Westwood High took on an additional step because they just, weren't quite busy enough doing the other stuff, and went on to try for STEM certification, and they earned it, which is awesome. They joined approximately 70 schools nationwide in this honor. And they keep coming.
The letter said family.
Exactly. The certification is a mark of STEM distinction. Of course, again, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The certification means that they have highly effective institutions that prioritize STEM education as a path to success. In order to earn STEM certification, both schools had to demonstrate adherence to the advanced STEM standard as reflected by the school's performance across 11 rigorous STEM indicators. Advanced STEM certification is the first internationally recognized mark of quality for STEM schools and programs, signaling the growth emphasis placed on STEM education by educators, politicians, and business leaders around the world. In earning this certification, Forest Lake Elementary and Westwood High demonstrated commitment to preparing students for their educational and career opportunities of the future by ensuring its students will have the skills and knowledge needed to be successful for their post-secondary pursuits and as workforce contributors in the 21st century. We are exceptionally proud of the work being done at Forest Lake and Westwood. Congratulations. Now, I don't want to stress my Megan out so much that she, might have those twins a little early. So we will take a picture of our two principals with our board member and Forest Lake. If you will go outside, there's a lovely set of stairs that we use to take group photographs. We will get that photograph with Dr. Stuck with y'all out there. Okay? And that concludes our special recs for tonight. I love using the twins as an excuse.
All right, the room just got a lot cooler. All right, next on our agenda, we have our consent agenda. If I can have a motion?
So moved.
So moved by Ms. Mackey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Plank. Is there any discussion? With no discussion, we'll have the vote at this time. And the motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much. Next, we have our public participation. I have no one signed up at this time, but if you'd like to speak before the board, please do so now. All right, seeing no one come forward, we will move on. If I can now have a motion on our student appeals as part of our executive session items.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We'll start off with the ones that we're going to pull out, and that will be number 2, number 3, number 6, number 8, and number 10. And as to student number 1, I move that they go to Blythewood Academy with Loredac Services. Number 4, deny the appeal. Number 5, return to homeschool with services and strict probation. Number 7, Blythewood Academy with Loredac Services. And number 9, deny the appeal.
Motion's been made by Mr. Shad. Do I have a second? Second by Ms. Mackey. Is there any discussion? With no discussion, we'll have the vote at this time. I have somebody who has their hand up. Somebody could just find out. If I can I have somebody, Ms. Davis, if you don't mind? Has everybody voted?
Mr. Chair,
Yes.
it's probably just a typo, but just the last one, deny the appeal for student number 9. Just with that, as long as everyone knows that. Okay.
And motion passes 7-0. Thank you very much. Mr. Shad.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. With regard to student number 2, I move that this student return to their home school with services and strict probation.
Second.
Motion's been made by Mr. Shad, seconded by Ms. Mackey. Is there any discussion? With no discussion, we'll have the vote whenever Ms. Sherman's ready. Who's missing? Mr. Plank? And motion passes 6-1. Mr. Shad.
Mr. Chair, with regard to student number 3, I move that they go to Blythewood Academy.
Second.
Motion's been made by Mr. Shad and seconded by Mr. Plank. Is there any discussion? All right, with no discussion, we'll have the vote. We got everybody, Ms. Sherman? Who we missing? Yeah. Yeah. All right, motion passes 6-1. Mr. Shad.
Mr. Chair, with regard to student number 6, I move that they go to Blythewood Academy with Loredax Services.
All right, motion's been made by Mr. Shad. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by, was it Dr. Elkins Johnson?
Yes.
Okay, second, Dr. Elkins Johnson. Is there any discussion? All right, we can have the vote at this time. And motion passes 4-3. All right, Mr. Shad.
Mr. Chair, with regard to student number 8, deny the appeal.
Second.
All right, motion's been made by Mr. Shad, seconded by Mr. Plank. Is there any discussion? We'll have the vote at this time. Motion passes 6-1. Mr. Shad.
Lastly, with regard to student number 10, that we deny the appeal.
Second.
Motion was made by Mr. Shad, seconded by Ms. Mackey. Is there any discussion?
Just want to say for the record that because of the age of this child, I would support that the child would return back to their home school. So I just want to make that known.
All right, any other discussion? With no further discussion, we'll take the vote at this time. Yeah, mine didn't pop up. I refreshed. Still no pop-ups. Can we take hand votes? All those in favor of deny the appeal? All right. And those opposed? Motion passes 6-1. All right. And that concludes our student appeals. Next on our agenda, Dr. Ham, old business. Action requested, approval of policies.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We're bringing to you tonight several items for our action here. First of all, policy BBAA, which has to do with board member authority and responsibilities. BBBB, board member elections. BBBC, board member resignation. BBBE, unexpired term, fulfillment of vacancies. And IHCA, our summer school policy. You got first reading of these at your last meeting, and we're recommending them for approval tonight without revision, having heard no requests for revision.
All right, can I have a motion? Moved to approve by Ms. Mackey. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Shad. Is there any discussion? With no discussion, we'll have the vote at this time. Has anybody did y'all get the pop-up yet?
No, sir.
All right, can we just hand vote everybody in favor? Motion passes unanimously. All right, Ms. Sherman, you need anything from us, or you got it? Okay, thank you. All right, next we have new business, no action requested, a report on the advanced ed review. Dr. Ham.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, if you'd give us just a moment, we'll take our places, and thank you for indulging us and sharing the information from our advanced ed review.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening, board members. Thank you for giving district administrators and me the opportunity to share with you the presentations given to the advanced ed team when they visited our school district. As you know, we didn't get to pick the date of that visit, and it coincided with the National School Boards Association Conference. When we gave the presentations on Monday, March 27, most of you were at the conference in Denver and unable to attend. So much of what we share with the team can be directly tied back to your stellar leadership. Therefore, I felt you deserved to hear what they heard and what helped our district earn impressive accreditation ratings. While you may know much of this information, hearing it with the accompanying visuals is a powerful experience. I think will impact you just as much as it did all of us, as well as the advanced ed team. I think will affirm that something special indeed does happen in Richland School District 2 every day. The visit officially began with an overview presentation, which I started by stating that I was only going to be superintendent for remaining 95 days, 15 hours, and 45 minutes, because in July 2016, I announced my plans to retire. It's now 52 days, approximately 4 hours, but who's counting?
Yeah.
I went on to share that I came to Richland 2 in 1977, and it has been my professional home, the place where my children and now grandchildren have gone to school, and a central part of my life for many years. Undoubtedly, the greatest honor and privilege I've had professionally was to be asked to serve as Richland 2 superintendent in 2013. Moreover, I've had the great fortune to do so in the company of an extraordinary district office staff, educators that I admire throughout the district, and supporters on the board and in the community. I am indeed grateful. Working together, we've accomplished a lot in a very short time, including completing a one-to-one computing initiative that garnered a national reputation, starting an innovation incubator that is now called R2 Innovates, and being the first public school in South Carolina to hire a chief diversity and multicultural inclusion officer, and to be part of a national initiative on rethinking school discipline. As I told you, our board, and employees when I announced my retirement, the time has come to plan the next chapter in my life, and I know that Richland 2 is ready for its next great chapter as well. Thanks to your great leadership, the next chapter has already started, and on a high note. Just a few weeks after my retirement, you named Dr. Baron Davis superintendent-elect. Since then, Dr. Davis and I have worked side by side to make this current school year a success and to ensure a smooth and seamless transition to Dr. Davis taking over as superintendent. So just as we've been doing for several months now, Baron and I are going to jointly present this overview of Richland 2. Before we delve into the facts, figures, faces, and places that make the excellent teaching and learning possible in Richland 2, Baron is going to tell you a little bit about himself and how he came to be superintendent-elect.
Thank you, Dr. Ham. Honorable Board of Trustees, as I told you on July 1, I still am honored that you entrusted me to follow Dr. Ham. She and I both recognize the ultimate reasons for our success come from you and our extraordinary coworkers, administrators, teachers, parents, students, retirees, and community members. we all share a sense of urgency when it comes to providing all learners with meaningful, challenging, and engaging learning experiences. As you know, I started my career in education in Richland 2 as an assistant administrator at Spring Valley High School. When the opportunity came to advance to the next level in school administration, I left Richland 2 with the hopes that I would one day return. That opportunity came in 2012 when I was offered the principalship at Spring Valley High School. From there, I was promoted to assistant superintendent. In all of my roles in Richland 2, I have helped direct our sense of urgency and continuous improvement efforts toward closing the achievement gap, increasing both graduation rates and advanced placement participation rates. As assistant superintendent, I was entrusted with the awesome opportunity to lead a phenomenal team of leaders charged with ensuring a successful opening of R2I2. For the next 30 minutes or so, Debbie and I are thrilled to serve as your pilot and co-pilot for a brief but informative, entertaining, and heartfelt flyover of Richland 2. So let's begin our flight with a quick overview of the facts, figures, people, and places that make Richland 2 a place where something special happens every day.
In partnership with our community, Richland School District 2 prepares all students for success by providing meaningful, challenging, and engaging learning experiences. To achieve this mission, the district has defined the 4 squares to success: learning, character, community, and joy that are at the heart of everything we do in Richland 2. Located in the northeast corner of Richland County, Richland 2 serves a very diverse population in both ethnicity and socioeconomic background. The total student population is just over 28,500 students. 59% African American, 23% white, 10% Hispanic, 3% Asian, and 5% made up of other ethnicities. More than 10% of our student population is military connected. There are more than 60 native languages spoken in the district, representing 66 countries. Approximately 49% of our students qualify for free or reduced meals. With an operating budget of just over $260 million funded through several funding sources, the district employs just under 3,700 staff members, including 2,076 certified staff, 1,449 support staff, and 168 administrators to educate and support the needs of our students. The certified staff includes a state-leading 702 National Board certified teachers. Knowing our students, their strengths, as well as their challenges helps us offer a high-quality education to all students. As a district of choice, we offer magnet programs that fit students' individual interests, from science, technology, and arts to rigorous internationally recognized academic programs. Richland 2 provides a 4K classroom at all elementary schools to begin serving the needs of our students as early as possible. The district's Child Development Program was among the first in the nation to earn accreditation by the National Association for the Education of Young Children. In August 2016, Richland 2 opened a one-of-a-kind educational facility, the Richland 2 Institute of Innovation, or R2I2. Envisioned as a fishbowl of learning, R2I2 is a multi-use learning environment where students, parents, teachers and academic support personnel, community members, and businesses can engage in collaborative educational activities. A unique 2-story learning lab accommodates a variety of programs in high-demand fields targeting juniors and seniors from Richland 2's 5 high schools. Midlands Technical College and Richland 2 received the Outstanding Continuing Education Cooperative State Award for the first R2I2 satellite class, which focused on Apple Swift programming and mobile app development. Innovation has always been a trademark of our district. Richland 2 leads the way across the state and nation with innovative approaches to instruction, implementing magnets in school choice more than 20 years ago, and leading the way with technology in classrooms and schools. The district's one-to-one computing program provides a personal computing device to all students in grades 3 through 12 and has become a model for the state. Innovation extends beyond the classroom as well. The R2 Innovates initiative provides time, space, resources, guidance, and leadership to faculty and staff across the district to take an idea and turn it into reality. R2 Innovates provides a safe environment to test ideas and practices in a controlled pilot setting before implementation into the district. The R2 Ready to Read initiative, through partnership with the community and local businesses, collected 10,000 new or gently used books and more than $1,000 in monetary donations to provide pre-kindergarten through 2nd grade in 14 schools 2 books each to take home over the summer to promote reading. The 4 Squares in Action produces results. Our on-time graduation rate continues to be above the state average, and in 3 years has increased from 81.1% to 88.5%. Richland 2 students earn the rigorous IB diploma at a higher rate than the state and national averages. The district has seen a steady increase in the number of advanced placement test takers, and our scores remain above the national average. The 2015-16 graduates received more than $103 million in scholarships last year. Spend any amount of time in the district and you will truly understand why we call ourselves a family. This is an exciting, innovative school district filled with outstanding students, staff, and community that believe together we can make something special happen every day. Welcome to Richland School District 2.
As you know, I've been in Richland 2 for over 30 years, and almost as long as I've been here, I've known that the culture of the district was highly valued by our educators, and we are all educators in some regard, and by our community. Over the years, that culture has had many names: our story, world class, excellence in education, and all of them are referred to a set of values and commitments to our students, to each other, and to our community. So when I was named interim superintendent, which happened on very short notice, I realized that the sudden change in leadership might leave some of us feeling adrift. I needed to set a course for the district and for my own work during the interim period I would be serving as superintendent. As I thought about it, I wanted to capture the deeply ingrained values of the district, as well as my own beliefs about quality education, as guidance for the interim period I anticipated at that time. That led me to identify 4 main areas we would address, which quickly became known as the 4 squares: learning, character, community, and joy. It was summer, and virtually all of our leadership was at SCAS's Summer Institute. So within about 24 hours, I drove to the beach, met with several of our principals and district leaders to get their input. I think I changed the order of the items, but learning, character, community, and joy seemed to resonate with the leaders I spoke with. So when I returned, and on my 4th day on the job, I had to wait for everybody to get back from the beach, I talked to over 90 of our key leaders about these 4 areas that I believe we should address. I had just moved offices, and in the process, I found my original notes for the first meeting. I never called them the 4 squares, but by that afternoon, they had been named the 4 squares, nor did I expect them to become a guiding force for the district. I was in an interim role. However, since that talk, the 4 squares have evolved through the work and conversations among faculty, staff, community, parents, board members, and our students in an almost organic way. They have come to embody who we are and what we are about. Somehow, these 4 squares have come to fit us like a glass slipper, one that fits us just right and distinguishes us. We believe that the learning square is the cornerstone on which all we do in Richland 2 is built. Educating our students is the highest priority of our district. We strive to provide an innovative environment to allow our students the opportunities to thrive both in and out of the classroom. The other 3 squares help to support this key square. We are a learning organization. Each of us has a responsibility to learn how to continuously improve our work and our results. As a corollary, we also refer to ourselves as a helping culture, one where we work collaboratively and each of us asks for and gives help so we can deliver better results. In business, you measure success by return on investment. Your profit is the bottom line. In public education, our profit derives from our investment in learning and is achieved when students graduate ready for what the future holds: college, career, or the military. In the video, you saw some highlights of a return on investment in learning: an increasing graduation rate, over $103 million in scholarship offers for our seniors, and above state and national average numbers on IB and AP test scores. One of those successful AP test takers is Spring Valley High School senior Jenning Chen. Last spring, she made the top score of 100 on the AP Calculus BC exam. One of only 11 students in the world, or just 0.009% of all 2016 test takers, and the only female in the world to achieve this feat. And and if that isn't enough of an accomplishment, she created tutorin.org, a website she coded herself that pairs students with student tutors at the Spring Valley, and she also is a talented photographer and graphic designer. Jennings spoke at our annual State of the District event in November 2016. Here's a highlight of what she shared that night about her learning experiences in Richland 2.
I immersed myself in mathematics, competing in the individual AMC, AMY, and Math Olympiad competitions, but also a variety of team competitions. I found a world that I never knew existed, one that I remind myself to never take for granted. As I crossed the bridge from competition into pure mathematics, I met a network of extraordinary peers who shared my love for logic, collaboration, and problem solving. Peers who I executed in mafia, betrayed in assassins, and laughed with over cringeworthy graph theory puns. Peers who checked my proofs, tested the limits of Mathematica, and on stressful days where I'd stare blankly at the board, ambushed me with powdery erasers. But most crucial was the education I received. For me, Richland 2 opened countless doors, offered countless diverging roads. Within my challenging classes, I discovered peers who loved math as much as I did, and teachers who had as much passion for teaching as I had for learning. Always, this community held me up, tested my limits, and pushed me one level further. So, in a sense, I didn't receive a perfect score on the BC Calculus exam. It was also my peers, my teachers, my community. And as I pursued my interest in art through AP photography, I discovered that the world of art was oddly related to mathematics, where the techniques used to compose images, shutter speed, aperture, ISO, were all represented by numbers. I found a freedom of expression, an outlet from math's logical intensity, the ability to realize my imagination. I don't believe in love at first sight. Mathematics to me was a learned love. When two roads diverge in a yellow wood, except for trees, there's really not much you can see at first. Only after you travel, learn, and wander from a path can you truly appreciate its beauty. Thank you.
The squares of character and community are closely linked. We believe that character for both our students and staff is a building block to a great education. Character in our staff sets the example for our students, which in turn creates positive, productive members of our society. We believe that public schools cannot go at it alone. We know the power of working with our entire community, parents, taxpayers, businesses, faith-based organizations, government entities, and elected officials. These and many other partners all play an essential role in the education of our students. Working together, we provide the real-world knowledge our students need to be productive members of society. Our Students in Action provide the best example of the strong connection of the character and community squares.
Well, at Westwood, we've always been about serving. We don't emphasize so much as collecting, but doing. So this year we decided to try something different, and we thought about who can we serve right in our community, and we came up with the idea of the senior citizens. We've adopted the crossings on Clemson Road, and we did that by doing several projects. First of all, we offered our students, our faculty, our teams, our clubs, the opportunity to adopt a senior citizen. And we adopted 120. Every resident at that organization was adopted by our faculty and staff and students. Not only did we adopt them, we also for 15 days are going over there and providing activities to work with, for our students to work with the residents. And then last night, our ROTC program was kind enough to deliver all the gifts over there for us in the morning. And the Santa and his elves, also known as our student senators, arrived to pass out the gifts.
It's important to show that we care about the senior citizens in our community because a lot of times, we don't look at them and say how much we appreciate them, and we don't really hang out with them. And it's just like, don't forget about them because they are important in our community.
Normally I deal with kids, but to see the reaction and the spirit from the nursing home people was out of this world. For a 95-year-old woman to still have Christmas spirit, and the interaction that they had with the students was just out of this world.
It made me feel really good. Their smile was to die for last night. It really filled my heart up with joy.
I don't see my grandparents a lot during the holidays, so for me, being able to go there and see them with so much joy was like...
They're really energetic and have the spirit, and it's something that is really, really great to see.
When we delivered all the gifts up there, they were real excited, real happy. I had a bunch of them tell me that they loved me and they were so happy that we did this for them. And it was just a great experience seeing how happy they could be, because if we hadn't have done this, who knows what they would have gotten this Christmas.
To make people smile like that and tell you thank you, y'all shouldn't have, it just really feels really good.
Just to see the residents one-on-one, the smiles on their faces and appreciation of something as simple as a blanket really warmed their hearts.
It's not something that we're going to do and then just forget about later on. I think we're actually going to remember what we did and what happened last night and these 2 weeks going on, because it has such a big impact on the senior citizen, so I feel that it'll have that same impact on us seeing what we could do to help them as well.
We're really impressed with the kids at Westwood. They've been doing a great job really engaging the residents. I'm just really impressed with them, and we hope to have them back in the future.
I hope the students will take away not to take things for granted, not to get caught up in the things of this world, but to remember the simple things and to remember the elderly. They were once their age. Those people they met last night and over the course of these 15 days, that's somebody's grandmother, that's somebody's grandfather, and they have stories to tell and stories to share that we can all learn from.
Without character and community, learning would not be complete. All of our schools stress character development using programs such as Leader in Me, Capturing Kids' Hearts, mentor-mentee school-based mentoring programs, and lunch and reading buddy programs. To ensure a high level of quality throughout all programs, the district established a district-wide mentoring framework. The framework serves as a guide for all character development programs. Our purpose for focusing on character development is simple. We want to help students build a strong support system, to learn to appreciate and value the importance of setting goals, to understand how to accomplish those goals, and to develop their own life principles so that they have a clear pathway towards what they want to achieve. Special moments from our character square include Sandlapper Elementary earning a lighthouse status from Franklin Covey earlier this month, Polo Road Elementary 5th grader winning a trip to Washington, D.C. as South Carolina's top middle-level youth volunteer. Our 4 squares to success would not produce results if not for the community square. In Richland 2, we are blessed with partners who know the work of preparing students to succeed in life at the high school is a shared responsibility. Together, we establish two-way community partnerships that support learning, build character, and spread joy. In the past 3 years, district employees have raised more than $346,000 to benefit the United Way of the Midlands and programs such as our very own summer reading camp. Last year, we started the R2 Ready to Read initiative through partnerships with the community and local businesses to collect new and gently used books to help our youngest students build up their home libraries. In the first year, we collected 10,000 books and more than $1,000. We don't have a count on our books yet for this year, but we have already raised $6,000. As you can tell, the character and community squares are essential to ensuring the legacy of Richland 2 and to making this a place where something special happens every day.
Childhood is a very special time in our lives, and we believe that our students deserve schools and classrooms that provide joyful learning environments in which to learn. Childhood should be a happy time. For us, joy is an essential element of the learning environment, just as safety and security are. We believe that honoring our accomplishments and sharing in the joy of a job well done promotes future success. Just as fans revel in a game won, our Richland 2 family should take time to revel in the great accomplishments and achievements made by our students and staff. A joyful environment produces happy and productive people who embrace innovation and learning. We share joy with our students, teachers, and staff for their accomplishments, large and small. Now, at this point, we shared an example of joy by showing the video of our 5 teachers who learned that they were finalists for District Teacher of the Year. Now, since you all just saw that video, we're going to move on to the next part of the presentation.
So we love the picture. Those young folks are precious with those smiles.
The four squares support and serve as the foundation to all the work that we do. In our efforts toward continuous improvement to move our district forward and meet the needs of our students, schools, and community, we have identified 5 guiding practices that will influence the work of our district. Those principles are innovation, data-informed decision-making, diversity and inclusion, partnership, and effective communication. With our cornerstone in place and our guiding practices established, our strategic plan will focus on 3 universal goals: achievement, talent, and culture and environment. Our strategic plan will serve as our North Star as we all work to ensure that all students are college and career ready. That they are equipped to maximize their gifts and talents that will allow each to chart and navigate a personal pathway towards a purposeful and productive future. Now let's watch what can happen when we follow the blueprint and the power of the 4 squares come together at one time. This is known as the sweet spot.
Today we are delivering our 250 families that we sponsored. We're taking our presents to the Palmetto Project warehouse so that these presents can get delivered to families who are in need throughout the holiday season. Well, this year, obviously with the flood, South Carolina's it's been hit hard, and we knew that there were several families in need, in the Blythewood area, in the Midlands area. So we just really wanted to make a huge impact in our community.
What a huge effort! Yet in the hearts of the Blythewood Bengals, it just wasn't enough.
We searched and searched for different ways to help flood victims in our community, and we went through the Palmetto Project again. We were we asked them to give us one family that they felt was really, really in need, was really, really hit hard, and they gave us this family of 7 that had lost everything they owned in the flood. They'd been displaced from their home, they were living with friends, and then got displaced from their friend's home. So we're happy they finally found a new place, and this Friday we're going with lots of different furniture, toys, books, and all new stuff to make their new house a home. So we're really excited about that project.
In seemingly bingo fashion, Amanda has given a modest account of what this phase of the project encompasses. This particular family consisted of 2 adults and 5 children, age range from 7 to 11. The home they hope to move into has not been occupied for quite some time and has seen some better days. It will take quite an effort to make the structure habitable. Abdali Yagni is the property owner.
I gave it to them because it's having use. I have a house, warm and nice, and these people, I know him. He's a nice fellow, and he can enjoy it. And if that makes me feel good if somebody can use it. That's all.
By the end of this story, you too will feel good. Yagni is working to restore water. Every other system in this house would need refurbishing. The floors and the walls are in bad shape. Some windows are broken, and there are no appliances. Fortunately, within the Blythewood community is Blythewood Middle School, home of the Chargers.
Every year, the enrichment team puts on a dodgeball tournament, and it's always for charity. And the one in the fall, we kind of flexible with, but we usually help out Blythewood High School with their holiday wishes.
Individually, Ryan Hunter raised the most money in the tournament, but as a group,
we raised a total of $2,500. We're going to use that money for appliances like refrigerators, stoves, washing machines, dryers, and dishwashers.
a welcomed boost the Bengals needed to move forward. Appliances were installed 2 days before the refurbishing assault. With additional contributions and efforts from the Bengal community, the Bengals were ready for Friday. It's Friday, the last day of school before the winter break.
Today we are doing the final phase of helping this family out, and we're doing a last minute cleaning, second coat of paint, a little bit of carpentry, drywall, that kind of stuff, and then as you can see, we're about to move in all the furniture.
I'm here because, it is the season of giving, and after watching everything that happened in the flood, how can you not be compelled to come out and help those who lost everything? I mean, there's no other, I wouldn't want to be anywhere else right now.
We've worked so hard coming up to this day just to make all of this happen. We've been working for a month and a half and getting everything squared away, donations, and I want to help give back to the community I've lived in for so long, and I love it here. So
There are 35 to 40 Blythewood Bengals prowling this property in a space with relatively small rooms. Seeing it leaves one to wonder how no one seems to be in the way of anyone else.
we just seem to, people are ready to listen. Hey, what do I need to do? Do this. Okay, I got it. And they get like a crew. Once they get a small crew, 3 to 5 people, they're good to go.
Before long, the Bengals find themselves finishing up the final details, positioning furniture, making the children's bedroom attractive, stocking the kitchen with food, and trimming the Christmas tree. This house is fully furnished with the amenities to make it a home for a family that was a victim of a natural circumstance.
They're so sweet. It's amazing everything that they've gone through, yet their spirits are still so high and happy and grateful. It's amazing. I don't know that I could be in the situation that they are and still be in such a great mood about it and so uplifting.
Christmas is giving back to the community. Christmas is being with the family. And I think, part of that is having a home to live in. And what we saw earlier or heard from Mr. Spigner is when he was here on Wednesday, the grandmother was actually here and the aunt as well. And she was like, we gonna have Christmas here. Christmas is gonna happen here. Christmas dinner will happen in this house. Christmas presents will happen in this house. And hearing that at first, I'm like, wow, okay, we really need to work on this house. We really need to get this done so they can have their wishes come true and give them a home for the holidays.
With a warm welcome from the Bengal Nation, a home for the holidays is what the White family now has. The effort is a collaboration from an entire community that has provided life lessons to the students.
It's taught me that it's okay to get out there and start doing things, that you shouldn't be afraid or scared to do anything. You just go for it.
It's definitely been a process, but I've definitely learned that even the littlest action and the littlest donation that you do makes so much difference, especially for people who have nothing.
No, I'm just incredibly proud of the whole program that we've had and got together. So I'm glad it's almost over. I'm glad that we've worked so hard to come this far. So.
This is Bengal Nation. This is what we're about. It's our heart. And I know we're about academics and we preach academics all day long, but at days like this and moments like this, I couldn't wait to get out here and see our kids in action. We thank the families and the businesses in our community that had the heart to give us the funding and give us the donations, financial donations, the furniture, clothing, bathroom materials. We were able to go out and buy plates and utensils and glasses and mattress covers and just things that families need just to get set up, the initial foundation, and we could not have done that without those folks. This is joy. This is absolutely humble joy. I think that this is who we are in Richland too, and I know this is what we work towards in Bengal Nation as far as trying to help others and reaching out to other families. Our whole Holiday Wishes campaign really focused on trying to help as many families as we could with the 250 that we adopted, but especially the white families.
Oh, we're home for good, I promise you. We're home. We thank y'all for this. We thank y'all so much. Thank y'all again. This is just, I'm still just like, y'all knocked out the majority for us. I'm just don't know what I can lay back and rest now. I can rest, guys, so much. Merry Christmas to y'all too.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's a real brief look at Richland 2, a place that so many of us call home, a place where our four squares, learning, character, community, and joy guide us to excellence day in and day out. Now, in the morning of the advanced ed visit, we took a break at this point and then came back to reports by our standards chairs on each of the standards, feedback from stakeholders, and student performance. But tonight we're going to move straight into the second presentation. Assistant Superintendent Keith Price will begin with an overview of Standards 1 and 2, also known as Domain 1, which cover governance and leadership.
While he's coming up, that's a good-looking dude up there on the screen. I just... No, I wasn't.
Thank you, James.
Todd.
I appreciate that.
Little to the
Chairman.
right. Little to the right over there. We'll talk tomorrow, man.
Give me just a second.
Good evening, Chairman Manning, ladies and gentlemen of the board. Spoiler alert, we got the accreditation. Richland 2 is fortunate to have outstanding governance and leadership, which provide a clear and consistent purpose and direction for our district. There is a focus on continuous improvement in order to meet our own high expectations, which permeate to all members of the Richland 2 family. As seen in our mission statement, in partnerships with our community, Richland 2 prepares all students for success by providing meaningful, challenging, and engaging learning experiences. Meaningful, challenging, and engaging. 3 powerful words that drive what we do for all of our stakeholders. This mission statement is captured in our belief of what our learning environments should represent and is known to all of our constituents as the 4 squares. As we have embraced the 4 squares for success, we have also engaged in quality collaboration with stakeholders to identify what has been working successfully in Richland 2 in order to protect and sustain it, but we've also identified areas that needed improvement or addition. The result of this collaborative effort with all stakeholders were the Richland 2 9 priorities. As a result of the priorities you see listed here, our district has created a magnet evaluation instrument, replicated 2 popular programs, and created 3 others. What began as a discipline task force resulted in the creation of behavior interventionists, a tiered intervention program for behavior being implemented in 13 elementary, middle, and high schools, and a uniform discipline matrix to ensure consistency at all Richland 2 schools. We've adopted the profile of a South Carolina graduate and have kept these beliefs in the forefront as we have worked on revising our district's strategic plan over the past year. A task force focused on middle school success met for over a year to establish a system-wide set of beliefs for what our students should experience at the middle level, and each school developed an implementation plan that began this year. We've added a number of leadership development programs, as well as a uniform system of analyzing data to inform professional development and improvement efforts that we refer to as Data Era 5. We are pioneers in South Carolina with regard to our work with diversity and the hiring of our first ever Chief Diversity and Multicultural Inclusion Officer. She has orchestrated 10 collaborative dialogue meetings with parents and community members over the past 2 years that have been titled Community Conversations. In sustaining our dedication to continuous improvement, our superintendent and superintendent-elect led our key leaders on a deep dive to identify areas this year to target for improved student achievement. The result of these efforts are referred to as the practices for immediate impact. And these practices span a variety of departments as well as schools across our district. They are focused on helping identify anything that may inhibit student achievement or teacher effectiveness and include specific work being done currently in those respective areas. All of this work, along with regular collaboration sessions with our kitchen cabinet, have helped drive our work on the update of our strategic plan. The 3 pillars of focus for our next 5 years will focus on enhancing our healthy culture and environment, attracting and developing student and faculty talent, and increasing student achievement. Richland 2 is an innovative district. Innovation can be defined simply as a new idea, device, or method. However, innovation is often also viewed as the application of better solutions that meet new requirements. From new instructional approaches such as project-based learning and blended learning, to behavior education supports and training, otherwise known as BEST, to a district-wide free child development program at every school, Richland 2 leads the way with continuous innovation. When Dr. Ham retires on June 30th, 2017, we will certainly miss her dedicated and tireless service to our district. You, our school board, however, were determined to help make the transition to our next superintendent as smooth as possible.
The board wanted to make this decision quickly so that we didn't leave you all in limbo as to the direction of where we were going to go as a district. And when we looked at the history of what's been successful with our district and in our district, by far our biggest successes have come from where we promote within. And so there was very much unanimous support for Dr. Davis. And we felt that we wanted to do this year, again, so that we could, as superintendent-elect, to give you all an opportunity to know the direction that we're going and have a smooth transition through the year for Dr. Davis and from Dr. Ham. Now, I want to be very clear. Dr. Ham is our superintendent. It's a strong statement from the board that we're very happy with the direction that we're going in Richland 2. We are not looking to make a seismic shift in the work that is ongoing. We're looking to, of course, adjust. Any good organization adjusts and make changes and moves. But we were not looking to bring somebody in from the outside that was going to completely change the direction of our district.
Your commitment to excellence is unmatched. In addition to the 2 regularly scheduled board meetings, you participate in monthly workshops and planning meetings. Rarely does a major school event or function occur at one of our schools where there are not multiple board members present. You stand by your votes and you believe in transparency. All voting is done electronically and displayed publicly for all to see. All school board meetings are recorded and then made available to the public on our district YouTube channel and are archived for future reference. All policies are made available publicly through our online manual as well as our online student handbook. You lead by example as lifelong learners, as you are actively involved in continuous learning opportunities provided by the state's Boardsmanship Institute. You recognize the scope of your positions and work collaboratively with school and district leaders. You operate responsibly and function effectively. You ensure that although we are a school system, the leadership at all levels have the autonomy to make decisions that will help us meet our specific goals for achievement for our specific area or school. And we thank you for all that you do. Following the standards set by our board, district leadership meets with its key leaders monthly to ensure clear and consistent communication and expectations. Professional learning is included in these meetings, and this year's focus has been on instructional leadership. Data Era 5 plans were introduced at these meetings last year, and our work in this area has continued throughout this year. The Teaching and Learning Department, as well as the assistant superintendents, have met with each principal to review their goals, their strategies, and their progress, and will continue to do that as achievement data continue to come in. These plans, which connect academic achievement data and Elliott data, will be reviewed and revised each year to reflect points of focus. There are 3 assistant superintendents who work with principals as coaches and supervisors in an effort to improve and sustain school success. 2 assistant superintendents work with all child development in elementary schools, and 1 assistant superintendent works with middle, high, and secondary specialty schools. As mentioned before, leadership development has been a point of focus for the past few years and will continue to be into our future. A variety of ongoing programs have been developed and implemented to help foster teacher leadership, build capacity in new administrators, and prepare aspiring administrators and principals. The self-assessment process has really helped us in shaping our strategic plan, and as a result, identify the areas where we need to devote some significant attention for intended improvement. Work in each of the areas seen here has already begun. A think tank has already begun meeting and discussing common assessments and benchmarks to help identify areas of strength and weakness as we move through the school year to help teachers and administrators identify areas of needed attention. Continuous professional development will be provided to teachers on how to effectively use achievement data to inform instruction. In addition to continuing similar training for our principals, we are also planning to offer them a summer institute on using data to set school-wide goals and prepare strategies for academic success. We are partnering with the State Department of Education in these efforts. Similar to the Data Era 5 plans that each of our schools submit each year, we're planning to execute the same procedures to identify district-wide goals for achievement and instruction. And finally, we will continue to explore more methods for attracting and retaining top teaching talent. The Richland 2 culture is something that's known throughout our district and beyond. While we certainly have high expectations for our students and ourselves, we believe in mutual respect and support. We are never satisfied, and we are always assessing ourselves to see how we can get better. It's because of this relentless pursuit of excellence that Richland 2 continues to grow in student enrollment, families moving into the area, and professionals seeking to work here, and also why something special happens every day. I'll leave you with a quote from John Gordon: "Culture drives expectations and beliefs. Expectations and beliefs drive behaviors. Behaviors drive habits, and habits create the future." Nancy Gregory and John Arnold will now share our overview of Domain 2, which includes Advanced Ed Standard 3, Teaching and Assessing for Learning, and Standard 5, Using Results for Continuous Improvement.
Thank you, Mr. Price. Good evening.
Good evening.
Teaching, learning, and assessment are the cornerstones on all which we do and Richland 2 is built. The learning framework was created in 2014 as a model to show the relationships among the components of the district's student-centered, standards-based system. Operating within the 4 squares, the framework emphasizes the importance of each learner attaining the characteristics of the profile of the South Carolina graduate. This happens best when the strengths and needs of learners are identified and used to focus learning, teaching, and assessment within the design of the context for learning. So what does teaching and learning look like here in Richland 2? Well, it looks like student-centered environments focused on the learners. It looks like equitable and challenging learning experiences to meet the needs of our diverse student population, various learning opportunities to include project-based learning, critical thinking and problem solving, avid Wickard strategies, and collaboration, just to name a few. It looks like learning experiences grounded in the world of work, ranging from programs in the culinary arts to alternative fuel cell technology. It looks like integrated technology in a one-to-one environment, where students may also be engaged in a computer coding course or even creating their own programs in a Swift programming course. It looks like a wide range of high-quality offerings in the arts, including dance, theater, orchestra, visual arts, band, chorus. It looks like caring and concerned teachers and administrators who believe that students come first. It looks like supportive families and a community who are engaged in the educational process and who take great pride in their schools. So what does teaching and learning look like in Richland 2? It looks like something special happening every day. To implement teaching, learning, and assessment as a system-wide approach, teachers and administrators need support, whether it comes in the form of professional learning, continuous quality improvement, or leadership and support. So let's start with leadership and support. What does it look like in Richland 2? Well, it looks like reflective practice through initiatives like Leading Up, when staff members across all levels of our organization participate in decision-making, promote collaboration, generate passion for accomplishing goals, and boost productivity through action research. Additional reflection and growth opportunities were given through our soft rollout of the Elliott Observation Tool in 2015-16, with over 2,000 classroom observations. At the time of our Advanced Ed presentation, we had 7,780 Elliott observations for this school year. We used data from those observations to focus on specific instructional practices at the school level and district-wide, which allows for further reflection and to improve teaching and learning. It looks like mutual trust and respect for each other's contributions through structures such as Student Advisory Council, Faculty Advisory Council, Parent Advisory Council, Business Education Alliance, NERMA, our ministerial alliance. It looks like distributed leadership through our monthly key leaders meetings that were referenced earlier, and professional learning with district and school administrators, in addition to office professional representatives. In this video, you will see a few examples of the wonderful leadership opportunities available to our staff members.
I am allowed opportunities and afforded opportunities to go and learn and grow so that I can become better, so that I am better able to help equip my teachers with what they need to help our students in Richland 2. So I've had the honor to be a part of 2 programs, NCTE's Cultivating New Voices of Scholars of Color, which allows me to meet with practitioners and researchers from around the nation to learn best strategies in pedagogy. And then I'm also a part of a Fulbright Hayes to Cameroon, where I get to go work with schools in Africa and learn about culturally relevant pedagogy and design curriculum units that we can then implement in Richland 2.
So one thing I'm very proud of that my district has offered that was a very, very high need was to have a platform that would make professional learning accessible for all math teachers or all teachers in the district. So our technology leadership team, along with the teaching and learning team, kind of partnered together and funded the GoToWebinars edition that has really made my work transformative. I can now include all teachers from all high schools in the convenience of their own classrooms on receiving professional learning. And even when I do professional learning with technology and tools, I can share my screen, I can share my peripherals like keyboard and mouse to get teachers engaged with the technology and to hear a voice without anybody having to leave their classroom.
Richland 2 is a place that is based on a sense of mutual respect and trust between all staff members. It doesn't matter if you are a teacher, an administrator, a support staff member, everyone in Richland 2 knows that they have an important role and that they are valued for what they do. Richland 2 is a place that values distributed leadership. I've seen that in my career for the last 8 years. I've been in a hybrid role at Blythewood High School as a lead teacher, where I teach for half the day and the other half of the day I serve as somewhere between an administrator and a guidance counselor. I've received so much support from the district to pursue this opportunity. As a result of Richland 2 supporting me, I've had opportunities this year to present at the White House, to work with the leading staff, not only at the Department of Education, but at the National Board for Professional Teaching Standards. For ASCD, I've had the opportunity to visit schools in 10 different states around the country, with more scheduled in coming months. And it really is indicative that in Richland 2, not only is staff supported in pursuing these kinds of opportunities, but staff is prepared to pursue these kind of opportunities.
Richland 2 office professionals, teachers, and administrators also serve on the advisory boards or as officers for numerous state, national, and even international professional organizations, as you see here. So what does leadership and support look like in Richland 2? Reflective practice, mutual respect and trust for each other's contributions, and distributed leadership. Next, we're going to talk about professional learning. It's the second support in our learning framework. So what does professional learning look like in Richland 2? It looks like instructional coaching and support through programs such as our outstanding New to 2 induction teacher program. New to 2 provides instructional coaches and leverages National Board certified teachers as mentors to support our newest colleagues over the first 2 years of their careers. It looks like capacity building and teacher collaboration through structures such as weekly high school PEP, professional early planning sessions, or regularly scheduled collaborative planning days for elementary and middle school teachers. It looks like PLCs that take a flexible approach to space, time, and resources and promote innovation such as R2 Innovates, the district's unique innovation incubator. Let's take a look at one of the projects from R2 Innovates called Si Se Puede, which translated means, yes, we can.
We came up with this idea we can get students that are at a high level of Spanish from Hispanic families to train and be certified as interpreters to go and help in the office. Just be stationed there in the office 1 period a day so that you've got coverage all day.
The student interpreter program here at Spring Valley, and which is also a part of R&E High School, currently has 14 members in it. And what we do is have a free period in the guidance department, and whenever any teachers or staff member needs an interpreter, we are there to help.
In this program, I've gotten to meet people from R&E. I've gotten to meet people from the Richland 2 board. I've gotten to meet so many adults and so many awesome people that I wouldn't have gotten to meet without this program. So I'm really thankful for being in this program, and I really hope that one day it'll be like the norm to be a part of this program, and we'll be able to help more students around the district, and not just our district, but all around South Carolina.
At first, I only thought the program was volunteer. You know, you help other families when they are in need of, to understand what school officials are trying to tell them, but I realized it was much more. You actually are getting skills, you're getting life experiences, and I was attracted by the volunteer, but I stayed, and I really am enjoying it now because it's much more than just volunteering. It's life-changing.
In 2016, participants in the program you just saw were asked to participate in a U.S. Department of Education initiative and then selected for a National Leadership Summit. So professional learning in Richland 2, it looks like instructional coaching and support, capacity building, and PLCs. Continuous quality improvement is the third and last component of the learning framework. What does it look like in Richland 2? It looks like self-assessment. Beginning in 2015, through our engagement with Advanced Ed, we started a process of self-examination, which culminated in the development of our 12 practices for improvement and immediate impact on student achievement that Mr. Price referenced earlier. It looks like using a variety of good data efficiently through the Data Era 5 framework, which focuses the district on the systematic use of data to improve student achievement. It looks like working together, helping each other become better at our craft. An example is our new initiative to identify professional application schools. Interested schools may also opt in to participate in this initiative. Along with the Summer Institute and year-long professional learning series, our district leaders will work on the continuous improvement of their instructional leadership skills. It looks like creating teaching and learning environments that foster collaboration and are conducive to success, such as the Richland 2 Institute of Innovation, which is an innovative, one-of-a-kind learning environment. Here is one example of the many innovative opportunities available to our students here in Richland 2.
Our class is incorporated with the Enable project, and the Enable project basically gives gives people a chance to use the machinery that they have in their schools or their homes to create prosthetic hands for individuals in need. We're a classroom set up to produce and manufacture parts, and so we're using that ability to do something for the community.
So they teach you how to use the software CATIA, which is used by Boeing and Porsche, and so they teach you the basics so you're capable of designing things on your own while understanding what other companies are doing in the real world. We printed each part and we decided what size we wanted to do, if it was for a child or an adult, and then we also chose the color and stuff like that. And so we printed out all the parts and we assembled it. The chance to actually do something with what I want, do something now with what I want to do in the future, it gave me the power to actually decide yeah, this is for sure what I want to do. This isn't just some little dream I had before I go off to college.
We are very proud that the CAD/CAM class at R2I2 is the only high school program in the country to have access to the CATIA software that students used in this video to create prosthetic devices. This software is used by Boeing, BMW, Volvo, and Porsche. In fact, a representative from Boeing was here the same day as our advanced ed visit. So, continuous quality improvement in Richland 2, it looks like self-assessment, using a variety of good data efficiently, working together to hone our craft, creating environments that foster collaboration and success. Now, Dr. John Arnold will talk about the district's use of data.
Thank you, Nancy. Good evening.
Good evening.
The common thread among the three sides of the learning framework, leadership and support, professional learning, and continuous quality improvement, is the district's systematic use of data. So what does this systematic use of data look like in Richland 2? Well, it's changed over time. Long ago, school-level student information data was presented to principals as information. Over the years, data use has evolved into a focus on using a variety of good data as a strategy for improvement that is now embedded into our culture. We refer to this revolution as Data Era 5. In Era 5, we are developing a clearly defined, comprehensive student assessment system that helps our teachers and administrators understand the needs of our students and provides them with actionable information. As Assistant Superintendent Keith Price remarked, it's not enough to just know your data. You have to know your data and answer the question, what do we do about it now? The system is building capacity throughout Richland 2. Ownership of student performance data extends from the classroom to the reading interventionist, to the principal, to every corner of the district office and up to the superintendent. It permeates our district. This can be summed up in the phrase that's commonly heard in Richland 2, we own it. Data Era 5 does not just involve student grades and test scores. We are implementing a system to assist, train, and monitor support staff, certified staff, principals, administrators, and district office personnel in the use of job-specific data. Departments across the district use data in a myriad of ways to inform decision-making and drive instructional practices. From teacher allocations, to building new schools and altering attendance zones, from determining lunch offerings to routing buses more efficiently, from monitoring technology work orders to designing professional development. Data should inform every decision the organization makes, and in Data Era 5, we are building a culture to not simply provide the information to departments, but rather a culture where every department has the capacity to acquire and utilize the needed information themselves. When we use data to guide instruction and to develop educational opportunities that meet the learning needs of our students, we see their lives enriched in many ways. We see them grow into confident young people capable of pursuing their passions. Jordan Watkins, a graduate of Richland Northeast High School, is just one example. Jordan is currently a student at Midwest Technical College and will transfer to the University of South Carolina for his sophomore year. He is currently following his passion by working as a sports photographer.
Mr. McLeod and Miss Brooke and Miss Proctor, they continue to motivate the kids. They won't just say, okay, you're good, but they keep saying, now what? They keep pushing students into, now what? I remember my first good picture. Everybody in class was saying, oh yeah, it's a good picture. You're gonna win an award off of that. Miss Proctor's like, it's okay. And it motivates you to say, okay, well, if this is okay, what is great? What you want to find was great. My first year, Journalism 1 was probably the most information that I took in. She showed everything and for every aspect of journalism, from videography, photography, to reporting. She put it all together. And she didn't hold our hands to be like, oh, you got to do it like this. She let us find our own way and our own niche in it, and allowing us to find what we're good at.
Jordan is certainly an impressive young man with a bright future. As Mrs. Gregory stated earlier, teaching, learning, and assessment are the cornerstones on which all that we do in Richland 2 is built. It provides a solid foundation for increasing student achievement. This table shows a high-level snapshot of the performance of our students on the most recent assessments and our graduation rate. While it shows that Richland 2 students are learning and growing, it does not adequately represent the many ways our students demonstrate their achievement. For that, you have to dig deeper into the numbers. And when you do, you will see the impressive growth rate of our middle school students on the MAP reading test. You will see the strides being made by some of our subgroups in closing the gap in the four-year graduation rate, and the impressive success rate of our high school students in demonstrating they are career ready. Our stakeholders are the backbone of the Richland 2 family. Their feedback is a critical component in guiding decision making. We take pride in how engaged our stakeholders are with all that Richland 2 does. For instance, on the Advanced Ed stakeholder feedback surveys, 1/3 of our parents, 3/4 of our students, and 85% of our certified staff responded. Over 1,000 pages of comments were collected. We use that data to guide some of our continuous improvement efforts at both the school and district levels. In the words of Superintendent-elect Dr. Barron Davis, we want Richland 2 to be a place that encourages all to maximize their gifts and talents, allowing each student to chart and navigate a personal pathway towards a purposeful and productive future. Now, Dr. Harry Miley is going to talk to you about how we provide the resources that make Richland 2 a place where something special happens every day. He and Dr. Katina Davis will cover Standard 4, Resources and Support Systems, or Domain 3. Thank you.
So, Harry, you found more money.
I did find more money. Thank you, John.
I'm just curious, Mr. Chair, how many more do we have to come up to speak this evening?
This is the last section. It's
Okay, thank you.
I'll be as brief as I can. I'll give you the same preface, though, to be true. When I found out I had volunteered to give this section, I was told that I needed to be on time and read the script and stay on script and stay on time. And I told them I hadn't read a presentation in 30 years, and I couldn't do it. And they said, no, you have to do it. And then they threatened that I would have to go to more advanced ed meetings with Will and James Ann. So given that, I wanted to start reading. Our greatest natural resource is the minds of our children by Walt Disney. We know that equitable access to, see, I told you I can't read. Yeah. We know that equitable access to resources affords every student the opportunity to reach his or her greatest potential. In Richland 2, teaching and learning is the core of our work. With this in mind, we focus our financial resources to ensure students have the tangible and intangible tools to succeed. We have a skilled team that is excellent in coordinating our resources to create a safe, nurturing, and student-focused learning environment. We strive to maximize resources to enhance teaching and learning in Richland 2. Our greatest resources in Richland 2 are our students, staff, parents, and community. These groups are not only consumers of resources, but proudly provide for others as they give back to the district and the community. We believe in the power of paying it forward. Students expand their learning beyond the classroom by serving the community through service learning projects, peer mentoring, and using their voices to target social issues such as dating violence and human trafficking. Richland 2 staff serves as a resource to community organizations, such as the United Way, which supports academic programs in our schools and provides a variety of services for students in need. Parents are great resources to schools by serving as volunteers in various capacities, such as assisting beginning readers, mentoring students, and participating in organizations like the parent-teacher organizations and school improvement councils. The Richland 2 community embraces our schools with well-established partnerships involving faith-based leaders, elected officials, business leaders, and health professionals. In Richland District 2, we believe all students deserve access to the best resources. This fundamental principle guides the fiscal direction of the district. Our finance department continues to be a leader with AA credit rating and a 31-year history of receiving national and international recognitions for excellence in financial reporting. I wrote that part. We use a very inclusive budget process, which allows stakeholders from you, our Board of Trustees, to parents, to staff, to the community at large to give input. Feedback from employee surveys, along with your priorities, help develop and fine-tune our annual fiscal goals. In addition, each department pitches budget requests to members of the leadership team so decisions are data-driven and aligned with the district's strategic plan. Richland 2 has invested in a director of grants who continues to validate that decision by securing multi-million-dollar grants that positively impact the learning for all students. The retention of staff is a priority, so salary studies are conducted to ensure district salary schedules are competitive. Last year, the results of these salary studies resulted in several classified categories receiving supplemental pay increases in the budget process. We use a variety of incentives to encourage staff to follow safety procedures to enhance safety to reduce the number of slips, trips, and falls. Bus drivers recently benefited from a salary study and incentive program to help recruit and retain drivers. Thanks to your support, we developed an incentive program to encourage attendance for drivers. We are now offering a $100 monthly bonus for every month that a driver doesn't miss a day and who also has a clean driving record for that month. If a driver qualifies for the bonus all year, they get an extra $100. While it is too early to fully evaluate the program, we anticipate at full implementation that we will see a reduction in driver absenteeism, which will ultimately improve the on-time arrival of students riding the bus. In Richland 2, our beautiful school buildings are a source of great pride. We maintain our oldest to the newest buildings with the same level of attention. We undertake a 10-year facility study on a 2-year recurring cycle to stay up to date with the district's needs. Schools request annual projects to keep their schools at the highest caliber. We have a plan for scheduled maintenance, such as painting and installing new carpet. The daily maintenance of our schools is handled by an excellent team of plumbers, electricians, and other skilled professionals. We know that playgrounds can be a source of great fun for our students, so we've invested safety inspection to audit all our playgrounds for safety. Every effort is made to keep our playgrounds safe and modern by adding sails to provide shade and converting from sand to rubberized play surfaces. In Richland 2, safety of our students and staff is a priority, so we have our own security team. The team secures buildings in the evenings, monitors our administrative offices, and assists with carpool traffic. Clearly, we take pride in the resources that directly and indirectly support our classrooms, but we believe it takes every person doing their best to create a wonderful environment for teaching and learning. Katina Davis will highlight additional resource areas.
Thank goodness you can count.
Good evening. Before my dad retired from pastoring, he would tell the congregation, if you say amen and clap, this will go a lot faster. So a few thumbs up.
All right, amen.
We'll make this go a lot faster. Thank you. Instructional time is sacred time in Richland 2. We believe that principals need to be in their schools to be instructional leaders. So district administration has been encouraged to minimize pulling principals from schools. We have shifted our PD offerings to greatly reduce the time teachers are out of their classrooms for district offerings. Being a very technology-forward district, we continue to expand the platforms we use to deliver professional development. Of course, we encourage our teachers to take advantage of quality professional conferences and workshops. Teachers are expected to plan instruction that engages students from bell to bell. Just as our school libraries have transformed to media centers, our instructional media is more than books and magazines on a shelf. In an effort to increase access to instructional media, the district has partnered with the Richland Library to provide each student a card that allows them access to print and electronic resources. Rich instructional media resources have allowed us to create maker spaces in our media centers so that our students can build the skills to work in today's collaborative work environment and to do more with less. Our higher education partnerships are excellent instructional resources for our students. For example, we have forged a stronger partnership with Midlands Technical College, which has supported our efforts to create a high-tech learning opportunity like R2I2. In Richland, too, we have invested in early literacy for many years, providing a new book monthly to the children in our child development program. Last year, this was expanded with our Richland 2 Ready to Read initiative, which puts a new or gently used book in the hands of our beginning readers. A priority for us is to recruit, hire, and retain the best staff to serve our students. We use a variety of strategies, including a virtual career fair that allowed staff to screen a large pool of candidates from around the country. Our Get on the Bus event is a partnership where we bring education majors from Winthrop University to our district for the day to showcase our many opportunities. A highlight of our summer is the New to Two Institute for teachers who are first year or new to the district. This professional development experience allows us to familiarize our new staff to the culture of the district and give them the tools to start the year successfully. In addition, we provide a similar experience for new administrators, which allow them to work with district leadership in a small group setting. We invest in supporting our first and second year teachers by having a team of instructional coaches who mentor them one-to-one, providing group professional development and some social events to build community. Finally, we offer a district stipend to our national board certified teachers, and we ask them to serve as mentors. Richland, too, leads the way in the use of instructional technology system-wide. Our students and staff have access to a wide variety of resources, such as Chromebooks, interactive displays, and even some cutting-edge technology, such as 3D printers. Our goal is to have enough technology resources to address the needs of our families, such as access to the internet. We employ several strategies to support our families, such as providing mobile hotspots and encouraging families to utilize the community spaces within R2I2 along with the Richland Library. Our district has a priority to provide a safe and secure environment as our students and staff utilize technology resources. A recent audit found that the district is functioning above industry standards. A highlight of our summer is the South Carolina Midlands Summit provided by our district's technology team, which brings in educators from around the country along with excellent speakers such as George Couros. Richland, too, provides comprehensive services to all of our students from nursing to social work. We offer a unique intervention program that provides family counseling to students through our Family Intervention Services Department, which is supported by a team of licensed family therapists. Parent and family education is a critical component of learning, so we provide targeted services to our child development parents, grandparents raising grandchildren, and to our teen parents. In order to address the district's discipline priority, our team of behavior interventionists has worked to develop and implement a discipline framework that incorporates several best practices in a multi-tiered system. The behavior education supports and training, or as we know best, system engages a multidisciplinary team to develop plans for individual students who need more support to be successful in the classroom. The goal is prevention and intervention to reduce suspension and expulsion. Mentoring has taken on a new meaning in Richland, too, as we have embraced new goals and an exciting new direction with district events targeting boys such as bow ties and brunch, where each boy received and learned how to tie a bow tie. Now, let's watch a clip from our girls mentoring event, Girls in Pearls, and then Dr. Ham will come with closing.
So the purpose of the event was to actually duplicate what we did last year when we kicked off the mentoring program with bow ties and brunch. It was an opportunity to introduce the young ladies who are part of our mentoring programs to the district's framework, to emphasize the focus on goal setting, to also talk to them about things like life principles, as well as service to others.
It's a leadership program. You know, it teaches girls how to be them in different ways, to where they don't have to follow people, dress how other friends act, be them in any way they can.
In Richland, too, we pride ourselves on connecting each and every student with an adult mentor, someone that they can connect with in every building. And so it's nice to see how those connections are working for the young ladies in Richland, too.
I want to be in the mentor program to have new friends, have new dreams, make accomplishments I never thought I could do.
Okay, board members, again, we thank you for giving us the opportunity to share our work with you. These presentations represent almost 2 years of self-reflection, self-analysis, stakeholder input, and continuous improvement. And through it all, we continually saw examples of something special happening every day in Richland, too. Dr. Oburn, our lead advanced ed evaluator, confirmed that for us in an interview with Tony Kenyon after his presentation to you at the end of the visit. We'd like you to look at this video.
You have a community school is impressive. This building is impressive. The innovations you do in education are impressive. But I would say this, that if I had my 2 daughters, this is the best way I can say it, that were school age, and I cringe thinking that, because the oldest one's 36, and I was in this area, they would be here, so you know.
And I'll close by saying thank you, board members. Clearly, as the leaders of this school district, you set our direction. You provide us with the resources to make these things possible, and we're very grateful for it, so thank you.
Yep, great job. I'm going to open it up for comments, but Dr. Ham, I want to say thank you. I think one of the comments that was made to us as we kind of prepared for advanced ed was, you know, we get used to what we do in this district and don't realize all the great things that go on every day. Having it presented in a way like that really shows you how much work and effort goes into making this a great district, and that continuous improvement that we do. It also, I think Dr. Ham really reflects on the fact that not only have we had and do we have great leadership, but part of that leadership is putting the right people in the right places with the right talents, because no one person can do it all. And I think it really reflects on the leadership that we have at all levels in the district. We heard that today with the gentleman that spoke to us, driving buses. At every level, we have great leaders in our district, and y'all are to be applauded for the work that you do every day. And thank you for making this look good and helping us not to forget the great things that we do and gloss over that. So, other board members, comments? Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much. And I think supportive board, especially. We appreciate that, so thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, next we have our agenda items for the May 23rd meeting.
On May 23rd, we'll be meeting right back here again. We will have the consent agenda as we normally do. We'll have a large round of special recognitions. We'll have a legislative update. And then finally, we'll be continuing our policy work and bringing to you a number of new policies for your consideration.
Board members, any other items you'd like to see on this or future agendas? All right. Next, we have second public participation. We have no one signed up, but if you'd like to speak before the board, please do so now. Okay. And board and superintendent comments. I'll start at my left and move to my right. Dr. Elkins Johnson.
Just want to say congratulations to all the participants earlier today that received awards. Thank you for the presentation. It was extremely long, but I know it was important to have it. So thank you for your hard work and your dedication and your time to stay here this evening to present it. And also, I just really want to say to Mr. Glenn, thank you as one of our bus drivers who actually, again, as I stated earlier, started his career in 1960 in Fairfield County Schools. I just want to say to our classified staff, we truly appreciate all the hard work that you do. So just know we thank you for everything that you do, and everyone have a good night.
Thank you. Sacstini?
I was going to say, did you take my notes? But again, thank you, Casper Allen, for his commitment and his service to both the district and our students. Congratulations to all those that were recognized, and thank you, Dr. Ham and Dr. Davis, et al. For the advanced ed presentation and the wonderful representation that you all made of our district.
All right, thank you. Ms. Mackey?
I won't be redundant. The hour is late. I echo the sentiments of my fellow board members, and thank you for the people who are still here. Most of you, your day starts before we even think about getting ready for ours, so I know it's been a very long evening for you. Thank you for being patient. For those of you who had to leave, I understand. For those of you who are still here, bless you. You are part of what makes this work. Bless you. Have a good evening.
Ms. Plank?
Yes, one word, and that is bravo. But you know I can't stop in one word.
I was going to say, wow.
One, I'd like to say this is a great opportunity in the community for those who say, hey, tell me about Richland too. This would be the one YouTube video to watch. It's long, but it tells the story. You know, as we go through and talk about the four squares, it's something we all know, learning, character, community, and joy. But you know, tonight, as I sat there and watched this presentation, at its essence, what threads those four squares together is selflessness. And that is what's so critical, selflessness and learning from prosthetic hands that are being printed right here in R2I2 to the Spring Valley student who gets a perfect score, only female in the world, and says, it's not my score, it's all those around me. Our educators, administrators, your servant leadership is so appreciated. Character, we've got Covey's 7 Habits, community, the projects, United Way, we've got the reading camps, the senior center, it goes on and on. Each video clearly showed that. And then finally, joy. You know, selflessness and joy, just dying to self and giving is joy. And I just want to say thank you for dying to self and being so selfless with our kids and what you do in this district. Good night.
All right, Dr. Carson Parker?
I think I have my mic on. Everyone has already, up here has already said what I would like to say, but all I can say is just been outstanding. This has been absolutely outstanding. Thank you, Dr. Davis and Dr. Ham, for your leadership and leading the way, especially on this advanced ed. But everything's just been outstanding this evening. Thank all of you.
Thank you. Mr. Shad?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. First, I wanted to say, I'll just echo the sentiments of all my fellow board members. I had the honor and privilege on this past Saturday to participate in the second round for our Richland 2 mentoring with our young men. We had a wonderful time over at R&E. Dr. Morgan and the staff, Ms. Hutcherson, they did a fabulous job. I don't know why they selected me as the keynote speaker, but I was very honored to do that. Mentoring, anyone who knows me personally knows that mentoring is near and dear to my heart, so I appreciate the investment that the district is making with all of our students. And I'm glad that they came around for our young men because we're still jealous about the pearls, the girls with pearls. But my hope is that they continue this effort with all of our students on next year. On yesterday, I participated with Dr. Carson Parker and Mr. Plank, Dr. Davis, some of our senior leadership, some principals and some teachers after they had already had a full day of work. And we were in our community conversation. It was the final one for this year, and it was a rescheduled one. And so I was very appreciative that we had parents and students who came out, thought it not robbery to come out and participate in it. It was a great engagement with our community. We shared some of our thoughts from our perspective, but we were really there to listen. And I thought it was very helpful, it was very instructive, and there are some things that we're going to be working on. And so we applaud Dr. Grant and her department in putting that on. Lastly, we have a major holiday this Sunday. And I want to first say Happy Mother's Day to my bride, Tammy Shad, who's the mother of my 4 beautiful girls. And as we know, our mothers are the first teachers. And so I say Happy Mother's Day to all mothers, whether of all stripes, natural, adopted, foster, grandmothers, the lady down the street that just decided to look out for you. And I want to tell you about one special mother, because as life happens, she got divorced and had 2 young boys. She put a premium on school, and she went to college at USC in the early 1980s and got her first degree. And she went on to become an entrepreneur in the insurance field, Mr. Blank, an independent insurance agent. As life went on, she ended up selling her business and began working with the firm that bought out the business. As life goes on, those 2 young men graduated high school and went on to college, one with an advanced degree. She remarried and had 2 more sons. Those 2 young men went on to college, one who's about to start an advanced degree program this fall. Not to be out, as life happens, not to be outdone, because of downsizing, she decided to go back to school 30 years later and achieved another degree on this past Saturday. That young lady is my mom, Laureen Davis. I love you, and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you, Mr. Shad. Dr. Hand.
Well, today is Teacher Appreciation Day, so I want to say, boy, we love you teachers. Thank you for everything that you do. And then also mention that last week we had our Teacher of the Year banquet and announced that the 2017-18 Teacher of the Year is Regina Dilley, who's an AP teacher. She teaches AP psychology as well as teaching our teacher cadets program at Spring Valley, a really outstanding selection as our District Teacher of the Year. We're so proud of her. The event was emceed by Dondi Mercer-Plank. Got a connection with the board. That's a nice thing to have. So thank you to Dondi. And then I also want to thank the board because everybody was there. It was a great evening. And I want to make sure that everybody knows that that is sponsored by our Richland 2 Education Foundation. Express my gratitude to them too for not only sponsoring the event but giving a nice little cash award to the Teachers of the Year in our district. So hats off to our sponsor for that, our foundation. I want to mention that we are coming up on the International Flavors program on Decker Boulevard. The event begins with a parade at 10 o'clock on Saturday, May the 20th. It's free, it's family friendly, so everybody's invited to come out and enjoy the celebration of the different cultures right here in our community. And then last but not least, I do want to again express my appreciation to the board, both for listening to what is admittedly a lengthy presentation, but also for your leadership, for your support, and for your vision, because it wouldn't have happened without you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, well, my goal in closing comments is to try to talk longer than Mr. Shad and Mr. Plank on the way out. So let me start, similar to a filibuster. Dr. Miley, again, thank goodness you can count, brother. We love you. But anyways, I don't want to make this night any longer. I think it was a fantastic presentation. Again, y'all do great work. Thank you so much. Go home to your families and try to get some rest. Can I have a motion to adjourn? Bam, done. All right, y'all have a great night.